Okay, cognitive behavioral therapy. Have you heard of that? It's abbreviated CBT, and it's a form of mental health. It just basically allows you to deal with your bad thoughts, basically. So if you want to fight your bad thoughts, you want to find a way to eliminate bad thoughts or manage them better, this is a good video for you. My name is Ryan Saplin. I am an entrepreneur, business owner, father of three, married almost 20 years now. And I want to talk to you about all the things that improved my life through raising a family and making $1 million. So one of the first things you do in cognitive behavioral therapy is you need to identify the problem that you're having or the pain you're suffering with. Something that happened to me this morning was my wife's out of town on business and I am at home taking care of the kids. It's a Saturday and I'm having to drive them everywhere, to ballet, to the gym, to haircut, to all these things. And I'm getting irritated in the car because, I'm not used to doing this. Why do I have to do this? Anyways, I'm having to deal with stress that I don't like, these unpleasant feelings. So once you identify it in sort of a vague circumstance, you need to label it based on the top 10 or top 20 cognitive distortions. And in this case, I'll just cut right through the chase and tell you what the cognitive distortion is. The cognitive distortion is shoulds. Like, I should do this. I must do this. I have no choice, but I should do this. Other familiar cognitive distortions you may have heard of is worst case scenario, or it's called catastrophizing. That's a form of cognitive distortion. But anyways, going into those shoulds, right, what you do is identify. So this is kind of how I've been using it lately, and thankfully with the help of AI, you kind of have this little machine that can help you answer questions and help you go through things. So I just put, I'm feeling irritated over having to drive my kids around, and I feel like I shouldn't have to do that, right? So I'm being a little vulnerable here. It doesn't make me look the greatest dad in the world here, just explaining these things. Shouldn't I like doing this, right? Anyways. So I asked that question. So I'm feeling this. What are some ways I can use CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy? What questions can I ask myself to better deal with this feeling? And then boom, through Google Gemini or ChatGPT, I get a couple questions to ask myself. And one of the phrases or words that pops up is not so much that it's a should, it is a preference. I would much prefer to stay at home and do a bunch of nothing. That's my preference, but it doesn't mean I should do it. It's just a preference. And because it's a preference, it's not this sort of must, because these musts and shoulds, we create a lot of guilt in ourselves. Whereas a preference is more like, yeah, I would prefer to be unlimited rich and unlimited money and live in a private jet, right? But that doesn't mean that I must have those things to be happy, as an example. So anyways, right there, I already get a new level of rationale, because ultimately when you are feeling this negative feelings of stress, what they are often, it's an irrational feeling a lot of the time. And you need to kind of find a way to create rationale into your system. Okay? Hope you learned something from there. Leave a comment or question if you have any questions about this, because I've been using this strategy for quite some time. A lot of people who I watch on YouTube, they use this strategy. They just don't call it this. So, see you later.